we're about to go somewhere odd now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is podcast hell.
Something that I'm trying to be aware of on this podcast, and you're going to see me do it multiple times, is I always talk with the microphone here, and then when I'm cutting audio, it's me going. So I'm trying to remind myself that this is where you hold a mic.
You look you look like a sportscaster.
But is that good? You do look like a sportscaster.
I do?
In that mode right there.
Yeah. Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Welcome back to Sports Fuck.
You ever heard of
I'm
Tony
your host.
Romo? He calls a good game.
You know, they almost fired him.
Did they?
Yeah, he would show up to work drunk with his dick hanging out of his pants and
Tony
stuff.
Romo? Oh.
No, but they did try to fire him.
For?
Who?
Sucking.
Who
Really?
does he work? Was it CBS?
CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like...
Really? They don't like him?
Apparently they didn't like him.
I like him much better as an announcer than I did as a quarterback.
It was a very weird article that I read about him, because they were just talking about CBS almost fired Tony Romo for professionalism, and then he's interviewed in it going yeah, I really needed to get my act together, and he's kind of I'm like, why are they even doing this?
Wow.
I didn't notice anything watching games that he was falling asleep in the fourth quarter or some shit. I didn't.
Really?
No, I'm saying it didn't seem that way to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
But then they had this huge mea culpa with this article, and I'm like, oh, all right. I guess you did suck for a couple of weeks, and I wasn't paying attention.
He seemed all right to me. You know, he does the thing that he's supposed to do. You always have somebody who's the jock and somebody who's the nerd, and that's
Who's his nerd?
I can't remember. Now that I think about it, I can't remember who's his nerd. Troy Aikman is with Joe Buck.
That's a nerd.
Who I don't know who Romo's nerd is.
I like it how during the playoffs or Super Bowl, World Series, whatever, where they have an active player of that sport in the booth and they say almost nothing for the whole game.
Yeah. Well, they try people out.
Yeah.
And some people don't do well. You'll get I'm just picking Ray Lewis randomly, but it'll be Ray's joining us in the booth. Yeah. Silent for 10 minutes, then he goes gotcha. That's his only contribution to a game.
Yeah.
Humiliating.
It's got to be bad.
But then some guys hop in there and they're naturals.
They're ready to go.
They're I've been waiting my whole life to go. You don't see a lot of that out there, Phil.
Chomping at the bit.
I need them to be there. I realized recently if I don't have the announcer talking during the game, I don't have anything to say to the people I'm watching the game with. I just regurgitate what the announcers say.
That's my favorite thing about, because but then later on talking about the game when you see your friends later, you just then oh well, did you know that
exactly. He's just regurgitating. I watched a game on mute once with some guys, and I was just oh shit, I don't have cool things.
It's fun having it on.
Regurgitate.
The muting is no fun.
No.
Yeah. Oh man, look at that. His spirals are looking good. Yeah. You just start making.
I watch a lot of football, and I played football, and even still, I still need them to tell me. I need the drawing. I need the.
I love the
marker.
drawing.
I need them to show me that's why this defense is working. I need them to remind me that.
It sounds
the defense is doing things against the run. You know.
It sounds like you weren't very good at football.
Put all these X's and O's on this drawing of a field.
I played high school football. You didn't have to be a good athlete to get a lot of play. I got a lot of playing time, not because of my athletic ability, but because I was just willing to just bash my head into stuff.
Yeah, but you're discounting the fact that you're from Texas. You're from Texas.
You from Texas.
You's from Texas. I tried to southern it up for him. Texas doesn't even consider itself part of the South. It considers itself Texas.
Yeah, there's Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not southern.
It's very annoying, but it's in the South. It takes up a lot of the South.
It's not that they go we're not Southerners. It's not that. It's just the fact that we're from Texas is higher on the list than that we're Southerners.
If you picked up Texas and moved it to fucking Antarctica, nothing would change. Except all the people would die because it's not
the weather would be a little
inhabitable.
rougher. But they get bad winters now. They get that freeze and stuff.
Yeah, it was cold last week.
You getting that free?
Yeah.
Freeze.
I got 4. Last time I froze down there, my mom and dad didn't have electricity for a week. And so my mom freaked out and bought a bunch of emergency stuff and gave me 4 flashlights after that. She thought I needed 4,
It is funny. I have a couple flashlights, but I don't know where they are because I just use my phone.
Did you say flashlight or flashlight?
Flashlight.
Flashlight. That's what I thought you said. Yeah.
No, flashlights.
Okay.
But I don't know where they are because I just use my phone. Who's using flashlights?
My wife wants us to get go bags with like. Did I say it that way?
No, you have to kind of.
Yeah.
I have a go bag. I have a go box.
Way to try to blow past the fact that you just did the joke we all did in 7th grade.
I know.
My way. Try to gloss over the hackiest reference you could possibly make.
I'm just this is a professional podcast, and I'm a little bit nervous to be here, even though I can see the cord hanging off the thing. I don't think that was here last time I was here.
It was not here.
It wasn't here. This is my first time on the show with the walls painted.
Hey.
Look at that.
Because I think you were on the show twice when I was talking about having the walls painted.
And I was getting all excited. Did you have someone do it, or did you do it yourself?
Sweet 250.
Oh, really?
Sweet
Someone
250,
did it? Dude,
and it's done.
I would have done that for $250.
Oh, you paid somebody $250?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I need someone to fix the plumbing downstairs. You want to hop on that?
I'm on it.
All right.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
Turd.
When you... I've just been dropping fucking fatties in there for 2 years, and finally the pipes were like, that's enough.
That's enough fat.
You know what? Now you're gonna see them. You think you're sending them away, but they're coming back.
So there's just a mound of fat turds in your toilet?
Yeah, it's been last time we tried to use it.
Eyebrow stuff.
Last time we came back to use it, it was the floor of our bathroom was a little poop floor, just with all the poop.
Wow.
All the poop we'd had for a while.
Wow.
It was tough stuff. And then me and my wife had to see, I'm dumb. I would have just like gone in there with my hands and like shoveled it into a trash can and died of whatever fucking disease is in there. But my wife made us dress up like Breaking Bad in like this full hazmat suits and clean it.
Yeah.
That's
And now we just don't use that bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
This bedroom right here?
No, the one downstairs.
downstairs.
There's like a half bath downstairs.
Yeah, okay.
We use the sink and the shower, but we just tell people like if you need to use the bathroom, come upstairs.
Are you gonna get it fixed?
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna try to do like a full here. See, I'm going down.
Oh, look at
I was
that.
I was not.
I feel like we all though did our sound check and we were holding them up here though.
Yeah, maybe, but I can see my level. I'm good.
Okay.
Well, my family spends New Year's with my uncle's house at my uncle's house in Austin, and big family were in their septic tank overflowed when we were there this past holiday season. So we had like 15 people in this house, my aunt and uncle's house, and they're like, you can't poop or pee or shower. We were washing dishes outside. They're big campers, and their son, my cousin, was a big Boy Scout. So they had like all these outdoorsy, like an outdoor sink that you hook up to a hose and a shower. And all the men picked out our pee spots in the backyard. I don't know what the women did. I think they just peed inside it and flushed. I don't know what they were doing.
That's got to be, that is one of the main benefits of being a male is just being able to kind of just
pick your tree.
My aunt's mortified. She's just like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. You can't use your plumbing. And we're just like, no, it's
whatever,
cool.
it's fine. We prefer peeing outside.
I've been peeing outside.
We get to pee on the bush. They have to pee in the bush.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a huge advantage.
Huge advantage.
Who knows what's in that bush? This is the double entendre. I didn't even intend it as such.
I know. That's where I thought you were going.
I really wasn't.
Of course I thought that's what
I was. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm sorry.
There's 3 things I'm working on in this podcast. Not interrupting my guest story because I think I have something funnier to say. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Holding the microphone further away from my face. And not saying like, fuck, and every 3 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
in the editing of this thing, I've noticed that I sound like I'm 15 years old. I have not improved my grammar.
I say like so much on stage, and I don't know, especially when you're telling a story and a lot of people are talking, and you go, and then I was like, and then they were like,
yeah,
and then I was like, and I'm like, those just 3 likes.
I know, but you got to say it that way because as I write the joke, I put the like in, and then she was like, and then I was like, and as I'm writing, and I go, I'll change it up, and I'll go, and then she said, and I'll write it that way, knowing full well I'm going to the like when it's
I
live.
know.
But here's the other thing you could do. You could just set it up like, here's how the conversation goes. And then you have your voice and you have the voice of the other person and you just recreate the conversation. And then you kind of step out as yourself to comment on it and then go back into the voices.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's the way to get out of just retelling the story is like you just kind of act it out like a little short form play.
Is this the little preview for the Podcast Al Comedy School?
Hey, 101. Quit saying
You know
like.
my least favorite?
That'll be $1,000, and you have to fix my toilet.
This is the fun part of the podcast where we lecture a bunch of people who don't do comedy how to tell our shitty stories better.
I do have a pet peeve. To which I replied. I don't know. There's something about that.
To which
I replied.
Yeah.
Sounds very
Just the
hoity-toity.
phrase. It's a very
Never heard it spoken. I've
I've heard
written.
it be like, to which I replied, like in a very pretentious way.
That's the thing, but it's a
never
very
heard it. Sorry.
It's a very I heard it a lot in stand up.
I'm going to get a fucking bell.
No, I've never heard it spoken in earnest. I've heard it spoken, like he said, for someone goes, to which I, like,
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever
shitty.
heard it earnest either.
I think I pay more attention than you guys.
I think you probably hang out with more British butlers. Like, who fucking talks like that?
There is one. There is one.
Just cut to Ross as a little boy. The butler go, to which I replied.
You did leave your towel on the floor.
Yeah, a lot of them, a lot of people are saying schedule now. I've noticed that.
Schedule.
That's very British, right? Wait, is this a bit?
I'm going with the British thing. I'm yes-anding.
Yeah.
British people, there's a British...
This is the fucking same as that shirt.
I know, but mine was obvious.
There's a British lady at my work, and the British accent covers up for a lot.
Yeah.
And it sounds very intelligent.
You can be pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And I think it ticks you up in attractiveness too. I think you get a solid 2 boost, man or woman, with a British accent. I mean, it's kind of bullshit. I wish American, however you say it, American sounding vernacular. I don't, but there's actually a term for it that I don't know.
Oh, what, the accent?
The accent.
Yeah.
But it's not called American accent.
Mid-Atlantic?
Mid-Atlantic, thank you. It's what
the Mid-Atlantic died.
Right. And wasn't that just in movies?
No. The Mid-Atlantic is that's what they train newscasters to do.
Catherine Hepburn and
Humphrey Bogart.
That generation.
That's why you can listen to like the local news in, Mobile, Alabama and Honolulu.
Right.
Alabama.
And they all go, to which I reply. And they sound...
No, I think the news industry really neutralized the American accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan of, I like fun accents, but now we're only, as white guys, we're allowed to do 3 of them. Right. And then everything else.
You can only do white accents.
Yeah. But we
can
got
do Irish, Scottish,
Australian.
Australian, that's it.
German,
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I push back.
I don't know if you can.
I push back. Once in a while, I let a black guy fly. I throw that kite up there and see how it goes.
Let's all go around and do our favorite accent that we're not allowed to do anymore.
I used to do a black lady accent.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm not doing it. But
These aren't on. None of this is recorded.
I started stand-up in San Antonio, Texas, and...
That was your big closer?
It was a big joke of mine. It got a lot of laughs, and I closed a lot of sets with it. And it got big laughs, and nobody ever said anything. And the woman that I was making fun of was a coworker of mine who was hilarious. She knew that I told the joke, it was kind of she was honored that I was like making fun. Like I wasn't even making fun of her. She just was so funny that I would just say things on stage that she would say to me at work. And she knew that I did it. I would post the clips. I don't know if I posted them. I don't know if they're still up, but she liked them. Like she was very well aware that I was doing this.
You'd go, and then she was like,
I'll have to check my schedule.
Which I replied, it's awful. Like, look, but it's really truly bad. It's like a bad.
Oh,
I would get canceled now for that.
Here's the thing: like, we're letting our comedy be influenced by like 13 white chicks with purple hair that went to Princeton. Like, who gives a fuck? None of us have anything important happening. We could probably just say whatever.
Do it.
We could probably just say whatever we want.
That's a good point. Do it.
Who's gonna cancel you from this?
Yeah, I don't know.
My brother.
This woman still follows. Like she'll still message me every now and then.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I saw another one of your. I'm not.
There
This isn't the voice.
Yeah.
This is not the voice that I.
Yeah.
The voice that I would do of hers is like.
I don't know if I could do this
The
podcast anymore.
only goal of this podcast now is to get Ross to go full black lady impression.
No.
That's the only goal.
No. But I just do want to iterate, and I don't know if this means anything to anybody. But she's a fan, and she liked my comedy, and I think she liked that I imitated her on stage. I'm not doing it anymore.
It's a sweet story. Let's do this. Don't do the impression, but when I ask you guys for your plugs, this podcast, it's like old Twilight Hour for CBS programming back in like the 2000s. Once we get to the second hour, you can say whatever you want. It's like the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
So do your plugs as
I
the
think
coworker.
that's just because nobody makes it that far into the podcast.
At that point, you're just screaming into a void where you will not. You might as well be locked in an infinite room, like fucking Interstellar when he's in the bookshelf. You're fucking free.
Yeah. Okay.
An hour in, you're free.
Okay.
Did you guys like Interstellar?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. So I saw it on a Xanax in theaters and then left and was like, that movie wasn't all that great. And then like a year later, I watched it sober and I was like, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
This is the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, in the bookcase.
I mean,
I think I remember liking it.
I think there's moments that are cool aesthetically, like as
sure.
there always are.
I love that water planet.
Yeah, I just think it's a little. What is it? It's a little overwrought. I don't get why he gives a fuck about Anne Hathaway at any point. Like, she's just like a person on the mission, and he's like, I gotta go get her. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You don't like each other that much. Like, it's just a lot of it felt like kind of like it's the paint by numbers great movie. Like, if you want to make a great movie, do all of these things.
Right.
And so they do all of these things, but it feels like very like obvious, is what I would say. Like, I don't ever feel. I don't know. It's like my least favorite, because Christopher Nolan, right?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
It's like my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie besides Memento, which is
Oh, I love Memento.
fucking rat shit.
I gotta tell you, what's rat shit is Inception. That movie sucks.
What are you talking about?
Okay, when I saw it like 3 times in theaters, I loved it. In like 2015, I had it on DVD. Watch it again, and I was like, oh, I haven't watched Inception. I put it on. I'm like, this movie is so dumb. I work in dreams.
Were you on Xanax for the 3 times you saw it in theaters and enjoyed it?
Yeah. No, I was sober, or maybe high.
Yeah.
But it was because it was like a thing. But then when you step back and look, I'm like, this movie's done. He goes into people's dreams and tries to convince them to get him out of jail or whatever.
I have a. It's
so good.
What's the ornament that he uses?
A constant.
It's called a constant.
It's
Is your like favorite movie ever?
It's a constant. That's what it's. It's what it is. It's
I have one in
first
the
of
pocket
sorry.
of
I'm
my
getting
jacket
mean.
in my car right now.
Jewish dreidel.
Mine's a spring.
Wait, you have one? What do they call it in the movie though? It's their.
Yeah, but is it called a constant?
He refers to it's the constant.
It's the thing that proves whether or not you're dreaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole end of the movie, right?
And it's like, is he dreaming?
Is he dreaming or is he not? I
All
always
I know is
I
I
always
want
love-
my money back.
Look, you want to talk about a great thing that's never been done. You end a big piece of art with, was it all a dream? Never been done before, will never be done again.
a great point about why that movie sucks.
No, I'm talking myself into it being
We're
bad.
going full Dallas on this big budget movie.
Just fucking tell us what it is. That's something that's I don't like when they'll make that movie. They won't make it a definitive ending, and then they'll interview the person, and the director goes, well, that's up for the audience. It's like, no, fucker. We're asking you.
Right.
Yeah.
You just tell us.
Right.
Like, you can, or maybe you have an opinion on what it is. It doesn't mean your opinion's right just because you made it. Once you make something, it's for interpretation.
Oh, God.
But like actors will go, I think this is what happened. And then the director, who's always a pretentious snob, going, to whom it may concern, I don't know. It's for the audience to decide.
To which I replied,
That's what it was.
go
Yeah.
fuck. No, I can't tell you how many times I've like been in a class or something or met somebody who's like, yeah, I write like screenplays, but like, I like sci-fi drama comedy vampire. So it's kind of like you're like, pick something.
Yeah.
Say something. Pick something and say something. I don't.
Yeah, but it's all a dream.
There's
Yeah,
there's a lot of like, I want it to be flowy.
Look, man, that's more space for you in the artistic continuum to do your thing. Because they're going to bullshit around 8 different choices, and you're going to get to go, vampires, I'm gay. And just be clear. It's vampires, and the theme is I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Vampires on ice, I'm gay.
Is this table in the shot?
This table is in the very bottom of the shot.
So you can see all this stuff on here?
I think they can see all this stuff.
Yeah, that's
They
what I
can see
put.
this.
I have merch here.
That's your merch? Wait, do you really have merch?
I do have merch.
Oh, I was thinking like that looks like a heart, and it is a heart.
It's the state of Michigan.
That's not your merch.
I'm not selling. This is not my merch, but this is.
What is it? Can I see it?
Can I pitch my merch?
Pitch your merch.
So Eric and I have a feud. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm from Texas. We've established that. Eric,
I'm an Eagles fan.
I don't know why he's an Eagles fan. So
Aren't you from Philly?
No.
There's no reason that he's an Eagles fan.
I was just born and I was like, Ross sucks! And I built my identity around things he doesn't like.
Yeah, it's been a feud. We had a feud. I think we had an actual
We've had a couple actually.
But through text, I really did. I was kind of joking, kind of teasing about how the Eagles lost their last game of the playoffs, and
Of all our friends, Ross, I definitely like the least because of this.
100%.
That's why I'm sitting over here.
And I'm sure it's mutual. Like we're friends, but like there's a little bit of me that's like, this fucking guy. Yeah.
Well, the Eagles lost their playoff game, got knocked out. And
How far did the Cowboys
somehow-
go into the playoffs?
Exactly. Great question.
Same spot. They lost the same weekend.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Are you rubbing it in, or did you know the answer?
I didn't know that, but I just know that they're not in the Super Bowl and they didn't play last weekend.
No, they hadn't played in weeks. No, the Cowboys for sure got destroyed way worse. It was a much more embarrassing exit
Just for the record.
to the playoffs
Yeah.
than the Eagles. Anyway, so as a way to bury the hatchet and to show that no hard feelings, I designed this shirt myself. I'll put them up on my store. Here, I'll just without further ado, here we go.
Yeah. When he says without further ado, it took him 5 minutes to ramp up to this, but sure, let's see what he's got. Eagles. Look at that.
This is as much as I can.
Well, here's how we know it's not showing up on that, because Dylan's 2 inches from you, and he's like, what the fuck does it say?
Is this a big burn? Because it's
really
Eagles?
Not really. I kind of like it.
He thought it wasn't a burn. I was trying to make it as a burn.
It's really not a burn.
I mean, it just says...
Explain to me how it's a burn.
It's like, you're just a bunch of gulls.
But what's wrong with...
Ooh, are you okay? Should we turn off the cameras? Give you a moment?
First off, what's wrong with a gull?
You're not a real bird of prey. You're just some sort of gull.
Wait,
Which I replied, you're all a bunch of gulls.
Hang on. First off, Cowboys aren't even a fucking real thing anymore. But let's.
I don't know what that means.
But gulls are 100%. They prey on fish. They fucking swoop from the sky, scoop them up in their little mouths, and gulls are. I don't know what's wrong. I have no issue with gulls.
Okay.
I also, is it like a play on email? I don't get the E-goals.
Yeah.
I did it 2 minutes before I left my house to come to this dumb thing.
See, now he's making excuses for it,
that's
which
nice.
is not.
No, I'm not. I'll explain where it happened. It popped into my head as a dumb pun to do. And
Certainly
then
is dumb.
Then I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
You know?
It came off so
How are you
mean. I hate being mean.
How are you feeling right now about this?
I'm not super excited about it.
Yeah.
It did. It was a lot of buildup for
Yeah. Luckily, it's only 15 minutes of the podcast.
a shirt with a bunch of duct tape on it.
Not super excited about it.
Well, you know, I mean, A for effort. I actually had a present for you, and I forgot it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's with people? That's very sweet.
That's
I've had multiple people bring me presents now. I'm not keeping that shirt. Is that a present for me, or you're keeping that?
That's a
No, I'm
nice
keeping
shirt.
it.
You're keeping it? Are you going to keep that on?
So this is the prototype for my e-store.
Do you guys mind if I plug my merch real quick?
Yeah,
No,
please
got,
do.
Jack Reacher, Killing Floor. It's a Lee Child book. It's available on my website, Amazon.
You wrote it?
I wrote it. Lee Child's my pen name. And if you don't feel like reading it, you can just watch the show on Amazon. I believe the second season is based on this book.
Well, the first season is based on this book, and then the second season is based off a
Tell it to my
different one.
manager. He deals with that.
Now, let me tell you what I like. My wife got this for me from the library. I don't like willingly read. Like what happens is I go on like YouTube spins, and one morning my wife comes in and says, "How's your morning going?" And I start yelling about, something I watched in a Ben Shapiro video, and she's like, "I need to get you a book." And she goes to the library and picks out a book that she thinks I will like. And then I start reading, and I go on a little YouTube sabbatical. So right now,
That's very nice.
I'm on a sabbatical, and I'm just getting through. And this book is so pretentious, but the book is better than the show, and I like the show.
Oh, that's great.
But the writing is really good.
I love it when it happens. I just finished a book yesterday.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know it was with some scholars in here.
Yeah, look at that.
What'd you read?
What'd you read?
The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. It came out in 1939. It's about a private eye in Los Angeles. So it was a fun read. Little old Los Angeles references, and it's
Nice.
a good time. I
It's
think
a 1939 release.
Mm-hmm.
I bet the characters in there don't mind doing their impressions of black women.
That's half the book. Well, he's half private eye, half vaudevillian comedian.
I am reading a book currently that had the N-word in it last night.
Oh, you dropping N-bombs before you went to sleep?
Yeah, in the book. And
You read out loud, right?
yeah, two people on the street. I was on the street corner reading out
What's the book?
The Sports Writer. The reason I'm reading it is because I heard somebody talk about it in a podcast. Who's the guy from Succession?
Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong was talking about it in a podcast about how he liked this book. So I got it. I started reading it, and he uses multiple N-words for African American people.
Oh, damn.
And I was like halfway through I was like, is this like a racist book? Because he kind of has like racist attitudes.
What year is it from?
86, I think.
Yeah.
Very strange. So I Googled, I'm like, is this like a...
What's going on? The
what's
author's
going on?
white?
Yeah, like, why is it...
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
But it didn't get a lot of like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, that book's outdated, you don't read
Well,
it.
people don't-
1986 isn't. That's
I mean,
not
look,
that
it's
long
very
ago.
strange.
There's a lot of stuff where it's like, here's what I'll say about it's very annoying. Like when people go through art from a couple years ago to try to find what's wrong with it now and then get
Yeah.
people in trouble. But America did give them a lot to work with for about 400 years. Like, you don't have to go too far back to be like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
There's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come up so much on the podcast, but there's an interview with Sean Connery and Barbara Walters from like 20 years ago, where he's just like, I hit women.
I hate women or hit
I
women?
hit women.
I hit women.
Yeah, he's just like, I hit them.
Wow.
And she's like, do you feel proud of that? And he's like, I don't feel proud of it, but you gotta.
This is what I do.
Sometimes they won't shut up. Like he doesn't. He like fucking doubles down, and she's like, all right, we'll be right back.
As if it's like, running a stop sign or something. I know I'm not supposed to, but what are you going to do? Sometimes you're in a hurry.
you're late
you
for
know?
work.
Yeah, he's like, coming up next, Hillary Rodham Clinton. All right, we'll be right back. Like they really don't. She just goes, all right, well, all
That's-
right. Now it's on the record.
That's
See
what
ya.
you, that's just,
Is it bad that the most uncomfortable I was during that story was you appropriating the Scottish accent?
Appropriating the Scottish accent. How was the Scottish accent?
Oh,
I hit women.
That's
I
not
don't think
bad.
that's probably not great.
I sometimes dog sit for a dog named Stella, and I work on my Sean Connery with her by just going Stella.
Stella.
It's not bad,
That's
right?
the Stella you picked?
Stella.
I would pick the Tennessee Williams Stella.
The screaming Stella?
Yeah. Or Marlon Brando Stella.
Yeah, but
Same one.
Let me do this. I'm gonna give you a Connery.
I can't yell at a dog. Stella.
The dogs, and also dogs don't understand that you're doing bits with them, so all they read from you is like the tone that you.
Right.
So if you jokingly yell at a dog, it's gonna have low self confidence.
Right.
I know that because I do bits with my
yell at
dog, and my
dogs.
wife's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Just
Are
feed
we
it."
past? Are we in an era that I can say I yell at dogs and it's not? It's like Sean Connery's "I hit women."
You yell at dogs?
I yell at dogs.
What do you
I
mean?
don't
though?
yell at dogs. I don't. What do I? Why would
Do you
I yell
have a
at-
dog?
No, I don't.
So
have
you're
a-
yelling at other people's dogs. Stella! Not supposed to yell at
Get
dogs.
out of here!
I mean,
I
look,
don't yell at dogs. I do not yell at dogs.
Look, we're all. I'm 38. You're
36.
and you're
I'll
42.
be 42 in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
So look, we all came from a time like when we were kids. If there was a dog and it was being trained, the training was like you'd wait for it to fuck up and then you just run across the room and punt it. So
Yeah.
like that used to be the way things.
Yeah, my parents would smack it on the nose.
Yeah. Also, by the way, that's also how kids were taught. That's how learning was done for a while.
Right.
But like now, it's all like positive reinforcement.
I can't fucking stand. I've been trying to do a bit about this, about telling, and not to do that, but about telling people they need to stop adopting dogs because they're not ready. Because every single time I go over to a friend's house now is just them, just the dog just jumping up on me, and they just talk in complete sweet
They don't
sentences
ca-
to it.
yeah,
They
it's
just go,
awful.
"Stop! What's
Yeah.
going on? You can't do." I'm like, he's not going to learn anything.
My
Yeah.
parents have a dog that is untrained.
It drives me
It's the worst.
Yeah.
fucking nuts. And again, don't punt the dog, but like you need like short one syllable words, and you got to talk to it sternly and make it sit or whatever the fuck. These people just have these dogs running
Down,
rampant.
off,
Yeah, no.
no,
Yeah.
Well, snap and point. I like the
Stella.
snap and point.
get hard. Wait,
Lipstick.
oops. Tell no one. I love you. It's tough stuff. A lot of people out there fucking their dogs. I would say if you had to put a number on it, let's go around the horn.
How many dogs have we fucked?
How many?
What's your number?
What?
What's your number? I knew we'd get to our numbers.
And what? And the same question. That
How
we
many
had-
dogs have you fucked?
And it's the same question that you asked earlier. What is fucking? Is it oral or
I think it's
butt
for context for the people listening. Before the
For me, it's zero either
before
one.
the show
I'm not-
started, we were going over our numbers of sexual partners and deciding what counted to count a number.
And for the record, none of us revealed it. We're not that shallow.
I revealed it.
You did?
Yeah,
I did.
You were in the bathroom.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I said the exact number.
You know the exact number?
I don't know the exact number, but I have
like
like
at least one, most two.
I don't want to. I'm not going to say the number on the podcast.
Okay, that's a
but
good
it's I could count them on
It's an
both hands
impressive
and feet.
number.
Okay. Huh?
It's an impressive number.
That's
You think?
very
I don't
nice.
think it's an impressive number.
It's not something you should be
Ashamed of?
Ashamed of.
It's not like it's nothing to. Nobody would be like whoa either way.
Yeah.
Not that you. I guess there's no number that you should be ashamed.
Yeah,
Why should you be ashamed of any number?
There's
Shaming.
come on. There's numbers you should be ashamed of.
Like that are too high or too low.
I think too high.
Okay.
I think everybody. Look, I know we're supposed to go like. You can fuck as many people, but like I think when people are born, like kind of like video games, you have so much like life stamina until you you take one more hit and then you're Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's fatality time.
Yeah.
It's like that with dicks.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of ladies, it's like
But
you're born and it's like you're like okay, over the course of a lifetime,
but all of a sudden
you've got 50.
Right, but all of a
And
sudden
if you get past 50, you're gonna get sad.
But you just
Same
brought
thing
it
for
in
dudes.
Because we've been talking about dudes this whole time.
Yeah.
You thinking of like we're not even talking about women. We weren't talking about women. You think for dudes there's a number that's too high.
I think for men and women. I think,
okay, good.
but I don't think it's the same number for everybody. Did you just
Is there a
fucking?
knock on the door?
No, it's the.
I thought he ripped ass, and I wanted to call him
I
out.
thought it was
I'll do it again. You get,
Oh yeah, it's the
sure.
chair.
Yeah, it's the chair.
There actually will be knocks at the door. It's my dog's head hitting the door to try to come in.
Gordon's not in here. Has he been barred?
I think he's hanging out with Liz downstairs.
They're doing a podcast.
Yeah, they're doing a. What were we just talking about? We were saying, is there a number?
Sex positivity. I'm on the side of sex positivity.
I am to a point, but I also feel like I do think that every person has their own number, and maybe they don't know what it is. But like at a certain point, if you're going through casual sex and you're crushing, then all of a sudden you're walking in the park and you're like, today would be a good day to kill myself. You got to your number.
Okay.
Like I just think sometimes you just get to your number.
I would think that too, but I would think that that's when, like, if it's no longer fulfilling you and it's like a problem, but if you're just a person who likes to,
well, if you're
take it in or
if you're a
take it in.
dude having a lot of sex, it's not the sex I think that is the issue. It's what oftentimes is accompanying with that, which is probably like hurting people.
That also takes a toll too.
So
broken heart.
As long as nobody's getting hurt.
So
like
if you can figure out a way to just plow through a bunch of people and somehow have complete understanding with all of them, that
especially if you use the term "plow through" them.
Yeah, that seems like a person who's definitely treating.
If you really are doing your
sexual partners right,
you can just steamroll over some sniz.
I just want to know: are we just?
Why are you talking to me? I already plowed you.
Are we just plowing, or is there anything else? No, this is farming.
Why are you getting your feelings hurt? It's a good plowing.
Yeah, what? Come on, you're my little snowbank.
I am
time to clear the roads.
I am sowing a field.
The kids need to get to school.
As long as nobody's getting hurt, I think you should,
Sure.
Yeah.
Suck and fuck all you want.
Yeah, and I agree.
But we said something earlier, which I'm not surprised to hear you say. I'll repeat it. About falling in love fast. You catch feelings quick.
The second the boys leave the tube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The second I blast off, I'm in like how many kids?
Yeah.
Like when should our families meet?
Oh yeah, I'm
a quick fall.
Super quick. I saw a woman that I had relations with maybe twice. It was very casual. There was absolutely no reason to think there were anything more than just two people who had a couple nights together. And a couple weeks had gone by, and I saw her at a bar having breakfast. And it was brunch time with another dude. I was with my buddy, and I was just livid.
Whoa.
So hurt.
Oh.
I was so upset. I just felt like,
because that's your baby.
That was like
that's your baby girl.
My baby girl.
I know, and he stole her from you.
Yeah.
You should be upset.
And my buddy, who also knew her, so we're sitting here. I see them. They don't see us. But we're close. And I'm just like, I'm going to say something. He's like, don't do that.
Oh, so did you?
I did.
I was about to say, I'm so glad you didn't, but then I didn't.
Awful.
I'm glad you did. What did you say?
I am not proud of this. I don't think I said anything to her face that I'm not ashamed of that. I wanted her to know that I saw, which I wouldn't do this now, but I just walked up and I said hi, and she said hi, and I said hi to him, and I said hi. And then when we left,
everyone said hi.
That wasn't a big deal.
Oh, you said hi?
Wow. And
but
then she said hi, then he said hi.
And then to which she responded, hi.
To which
What's
I
the fucking end of this story, Raj?
I texted 5 minutes after we left. I texted, "Is this where you take all your guys?" Because she had taken me to that same. I know,
bro, brutal.
I was young. This
is like 3 weeks ago.
I was very young. It was so.
Well, we have a surprise for you. We have a caller.
Because she had taken me to that same place to have brunch a few weeks earlier.
But maybe it was near her apartment.
It was near her apartment.
It probably is where she took all her guys.
I also have dated a couple women who, like, they had the same first date spot for all their first dates. I think I said it all.
I want to tell myself that the whole point of bringing this up is I had a lot of growing to do as far as like understanding what just hooking up a few times with somebody is and what a girlfriend is and how those are different things.
Oh, that is a very.
Were you Catholic or religious at all?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, because
not Catholic, but yeah, definitely. Religious,
I was Catholic, so I struggle with that too. It's like you think you're like you kind of own someone after you fuck them.
Yeah, yeah.
And casual sex will break you of that painfully.
Yeah.
Because people are just like, what the fuck is your problem? Like you look like a complete psycho.
Yeah.
If you don't deal with that.
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic, and definitely once I started on my sexual journey was like that for a while, and then eventually, well, then it's like, no, I don't want to sit on this podcast
you said
talking about.
Well, you said the phrase "sexual journey." You lost me.
I was trying to be nice.
Fucking Oprah.
Well, fucking, this is like
once the path of my sexual journey released itself to me,
falling into fucking us all. And then when I was having casual sex with ladies,
if you say sexual journey, it's implying that like some dude slipped in, like you went on a full, you took a little
what if a dude
buffet.
Did slip in?
Hey,
that's fine.
Did one?
Next week on the pod.
Bonus ep.
No, I've never had sex with a dude. I'd love to have sex with a dude, but I just don't want to.
I know, that's my problem with it.
Yeah. No.
You would love to have sex with a dude.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, here's what it means.
I
If
just
you
like
would love it, you would love it.
I just love sex, and then that's another.
That's
4 billion people I'd have a chance
twice.
with.
You're saying if you were attracted to men, you would like having sex with men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that about anything.
Yes. So then why are you upset by it?
Yeah.
Because that's not. I didn't know that's what he was saying.
If I was attracted to that couch,
I thought you were saying something else.
I have fucked that couch.
I hate steamed carrots. I absolutely hate them. But if I found them very delicious, I would find them delicious.
I think this is the point Dylan was making. Was
Well-
that if he was sexually attracted to men, he would enjoy plowing them.
Of course. Yes, of course. Of course you would.
Have I?
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but that's obvious. I'm just saying that's an obvious thing to say.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in terms of thinking about sexuality as ones and zeros, I like zeros, and I'm like,
It does feel it's an old. I think it's an old. What's his face? Fucked his daughter, and they got married.
Oh, Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. It's an old. It's an old. All right.
I'm just listening.
Wow, and then you immediately go into Woody Allen.
What's the big deal?
You said daughter, it's a stepdaughter. I was just clarifying.
No, it makes it a little less horrific. No, but he had a.
I wasn't trying to defend the guy or make it less horrific. If we're gonna talk about people, let's just be.
Look,
Let's get all the Woody Allen facts straight, okay?
It does. It takes it from like if it was what I said, if it was just daughter, then that is like you should be killed for what you've done. Right. But when it's a stepdaughter, it goes to like
that's
you
a
should
Pornhub category.
Yeah, but you also should probably
Life in prison or be killed.
Yeah, maybe killed in prison,
or at the very least,
or maybe you die in prison, but like old age.
Yeah, Charlie Manson style.
Yeah, and you read a bunch of books.
But
you
was
grow
she
a beard?
But was she a minor? Was she underage?
I think he. Like,
I don't know.
I think the charges were. Were grooming.
Yeah. Oh, the grooming, right?
Yeah, but I think some stuff happened when she was a minor,
right? Yeah, I think so.
Because they had to wait. Boy. Anyway,
she's on. She is actually on the podcast next week.
Oh, okay. Well,
we should
ask her if you could, if it comes up organically.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if you did have her on the podcast, what the fuck else would you talk about? You'd be like, yeah, man, this is crazy, this weather we've been having. Remember that time your stepdad fucked you and you stayed with him forever?
And you married him?
They got married.
Yeah,
right?
they're married.
Yeah.
They're married currently.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's like the whole, did you see the May December movie that came out?
Oh, no, but I've been wanting to see it. It looks great. Yeah, don't ruin anything.
But it's like kind of like that. It explores that a little bit. Because I think people go like, oh, well, if they stayed married, I guess that means it worked. It's like.
But there's the grooming part of it.
That means that someone's like fucking.
Yeah.
Mentally gymnastic.
Right.
Fucking all that nastiness. Anyway, the whole point of what I was saying was Woody Allen had a thing that he said about it's not fair to be bisexual. Like, what, you don't have enough options already? Now you can fuck everybody?
Woody Allen said that?
Yeah. He's like, it's not fair. It's an advantage.
Your favorite guy.
I never said he was my favorite.
You're the one that's mounting a legal defense.
Look, I do have another T-shirt.
I do.
You have another one?
Man, your fucking merch store sucks.
Free Woody Allen.
I was excited. I thought you were gonna actually have a T-shirt. So that fucking
Just something sincere.
pile of shit you brought in.
Come on, let's not pile on.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't it. He made the attempt. And you forgot your gift.
Yeah, you're right.
What was the gift?
Well, I can't tell you. I'll have to give it to you.
Was it now here's the thing, was it a real gift or like a joke gift?
It was a joke gift.
Okay.
Can I just?
But it was. You would have liked it enough.
I'll just. This is a genuine explanation of the shirt.
We're going back.
I did want to. I did want to extend some sort of olive branch, and I thought it would be fun if I did have an Eagles shirt. But why the fuck would I have an Eagles shirt? And then I thought I'll make an Eagles shirt, and then I thought I can't do that. So this was like as close as I could get.
No, we're on the second iteration of explaining the joke now, which is.
But that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a joke. It was like a.
It was an olive branch.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have. It's kind of olive colored too.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. In green, like the Eagles.
It was. I picked that because it's the only green shirt. It's the closest I had.
We should give Dylan some credit. He doesn't know shit about football, but he is trying to add on pieces to the conversation.
Okay. I got and I knew the Cowboys didn't make it far in the playoffs. Yeah. I had that going for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
I watched that Bills-Kansas City game. Oh, brother.
How about those Bills? If you name 3 players on the Bills, I'll kill myself with this sword right now.
Oh, shit. I couldn't tell you one player.
All right.
Oh.
I know their kicker doesn't kick well all the time.
Bad kicker.
Picked that up. Sorry, I'll keep an ear on it sometimes. Everybody in my family really likes football, so I'll check the scores, and then you guys always talk about it in the group chat, and I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Based on the movie Ace Ventura, every time you miss a kick in the playoffs, you have to become a trans woman and become a police officer in Miami, and then try to kill the quarterback and the mascot for the team.
Based just on that, yes, laces out.
Laces out. The laces were in. They were in. That movie is fucking insane.
Ross is completely tight-lipped. You're gonna defend Woody Allen, but he describes the plot of Ace Ventura.
He's
and you're
like, too far.
I don't think so. Which I will say for that movie aged terribly.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who showed it to his kids the other day. And I didn't want to get into it, but I wanted to be like,
What's wrong with? Oh, because of the trans thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's just very.
Yeah.
I still think it's pretty funny. But there's the second one, I think is, the second one's probably pretty bad too. Doesn't he go to Africa?
He goes to Africa, and it's just very making fun of, like, the bumblebee tuna.
Tuna?
But it's very funny.
Yeah.
I love.
My favorite part is where he gets the spears in the leg. Do you remember that part? And he's going, it's in the bone. That's all time.
That movie is I love the beginning of the movie with the slinky down the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it stops on the last step, and he turns to the clearly exhausted guy, and he goes, "Can I do it one more time?" It's a giant staircase. You have seen these movies, right?
Okay,
You must be the Monopoly guy.
I don't think I saw the second.
You never seen Ace Ventura: When Nature
Really?
Calls?
I don't think I saw the second one.
Oh my god,
man.
Well, that one's
and
worth
I
a
only saw the
watch.
first one years after it came out. I wasn't on the cutting edge of. I wasn't with everybody when everybody was enjoying it when it first came out.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to. It came out. I think I want to.
sexually.
You're a little bit older than us.
yeah,
So I was
weird.
8 when it came out, but you were 12. So
I would have been 6 when it came out, but you were 12.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
That does make a big difference. Like at that age, like the movies you can enjoy at 8 versus 12. Like because if you're a guy and you've already started to crank them out, you are now looking at movies in a different way.
I wasn't
That
cranking
is
them out
true.
at 12.
You're like, who's the love interest in this movie?
Courtney Cox
Oh, Courtney Cox.
is very beautiful in that movie.
She is.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's kind of cool with his jokes.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I see a future with the two of them.
Didn't Jim Carrey's one? I feel like he retires after every movie he makes now.
Yeah, he doesn't really do well. He did that show a few years ago on Showtime called Kidding, where he played like a depressed children's show host.
Oh yeah.
Was it
But
good?
I don't have Showtime. I never saw it.
He's an artist. He does a lot of visual arts now.
Yeah.
paintings.
I mean,
Which I was always hoping he would graduate on from the hilarious comedies of my childhood into visual art.
I just know he was on an episode. This was years ago. He was on an episode of Comedians in Cars.
No, I remember very clearly watching Ace Ventura and going like, I hope one day he makes it look like George Bush was painted by a 10-year-old. That would be great. That would really be.
Yeah.
It is a shit because now I'm just thinking about Ace Ventura, and it does bum me out with how the main climax of the movie did not age well, but it's such a funny movie.
It's great. Yeah, that stuff doesn't really bother me. I just go like, it's a product of its time. I
know, but it would be hard to like show it because like I watched it as a kid and like I don't even think transgender was a word. I'm sure it was a fucking word, but
yeah.
But like I didn't totally, and I mean I remember. I don't want to fucking talk about that. I don't want this being recorded.
My
I'm
sexual
journey.
I was thinking about that.
When you want to watch the movie, you can come over here. We'll watch it.
Okay.
I promise I won't have
great.
an intellectual conversation with you afterwards. We'll just laugh.
All right. So funny though. New England clam chowder, red or the white? I always get this one wrong.
White? All right, we got to stop quoting movies.
I really appreciated it since I haven't seen it. Thanks, sir.
You should watch it.
I will. I watch it.
With an open mind.
I will.
How would you guys rate your friendship?
Best friends.
Because you guys, I feel like you guys hung out.
Yeah,
were you guys hanging out before we kind of got our stand-up group rolling?
A little bit, yeah.
We kind of had a spillover. We were in another group.
Yeah.
What was the other group?
The End of the Road group, that outdoor mic in North Hollywood.
Why do I not know that one? I don't think I ever did it.
I don't think you ever did it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
who was in the group?
Indie kind of thing.
Give me who are the
David Sweetman, Australian dude, Maxie Wheatrack.
Okay.
Julia Austin.
Okay, great.
Nick Taravella.
It
was started by
Katie
Blake.
Novotny.
Where'd they all go?
Yeah.
Well, David
Sweetman moved back to Australia.
Yeah, and he had the stage and also organized the whole thing.
He actually, you know what? He asked me to do the show, and I never messaged him back, and then I think it ended. So I think I could have been in the group.
Yeah, well, that was his backyard show. So it was two different things.
That's the one he asked me.
Yeah,
about.
The mic was on a bike path in North Hollywood, and then his show was in his backyard in Burbank.
Oh, okay.
It was a very fun mic. I would look forward to it.
Dylan and I met. Dylan, you had just moved to LA, I think, when we met. You just popped into one of my shows that I was.
Yes, that's right. And that was the same night I met you guys. The same night at Fourth Wall.
Oh yeah.
Did I?
I remember that.
I had booked.
Yeah. That's right.
And then because I had just done one End of the Road. Ryan and I met at the Pasadena Comedy. And then he was like, my buddy's producing a show at Fourth Wall. You should just come. And then I ended up going out to dinner with you guys afterwards.
And then we found out a very interesting shared thing. You remember? You don't. Look at the look. He doesn't remember. Same dad.
Oh, my God, yes.
Same building in New York.
We lived in the same building in New York.
At the same time.
For 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a very When Harry Met Sally moment.
Yeah. It is.
But we never...
It's a shame you don't like fucking guys.
Same building.
We could have fucked.
And we
really
never met.
I'm sure I saw you one time in the hall and I was like, him? No.
Nah, dude, I know you're fucking around because I was in much better shape. I'm telling you, if you were gay and we were living in the same building in 2014, you'd have been into it.
I'd have been like, yeah.
Well, if you would like men, you would have liked gay sex.
Yeah. I told you Paul Mooney.
I see what you did there.
The late great Paul Mooney was right across the way.
Oh yes,
I'd be making breakfast and I'd look out my window and it'd be Paul Mooney making eggs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and sometimes we'd ride the elevator down and he would always kind of lecture me about how I'm fucking up my comedy career.
Well, then do you remember? Really, he would?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
On 2 separate occasions, he did that.
Oh.
By doing what?
I was late to something, and he just walked me all the way to 125th at the subway. He was going to the barber or something.
Yeah.
I was at one point. I was like, I kind of fucking want to duck into a store and quit getting a fucking earful from Paul Mooney. Like, I'm late to improv practice. Get off my dick, Jesus Christ! But he wouldn't shut up about how it was unprofessional. Like I'm very replaceable in the industry.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it was fine. He was trying to be helpful.
Yeah, of
but
course.
It was also like I don't know you.
That's kind of similar to how you about to say something.
Yeah, but it's fine.
That's kind of similar how Dylan and I stopped hanging out. We
Stopped hanging out.
Yeah, we'd go on dinner dates. We'd go have dinner, and the last time was I asked him point blank. I go, "So how's your comedy career going?" And he looked at me like I was accusing him of murder. He was just like, "What do you? How is it going?" I don't.
Why is that a bad question?
He was so put off by it.
Well,
like I was interrogating him.
Because my anxious, insecure mind was like, is this an intervention? Is this why Ross wanted to have dinner with me? Being like,
so the reason I brought you down here, your comedy career is going nowhere.
To hit the brakes.
Yeah. But I did
super successful Ross to lecture you.
But I did say it in kind of in retrospect, I did say it in kind of an intimidating way. But I truly meant it as like I would like to bring. I would like to get into this topic.
I know, and then you explained that to me.
What are you doing for your comedy career?
But
what am I doing?
I'm a little sensy boy.
But you were just like.
So I immediately was like, Dad, what's wrong? I've been trying so hard.
We're all sensitive about different stuff. Yeah. You know, Ross is sensitive when he nuts, like me. We fall in love. You fall in love. You're sensitive about your comedy career.
I'm sensitive about my comedy career, and Woody Allen apologist.
I am not a Woody.
We gotta stop saying it. No, I feel bad now.
No,
I'm sorry. Okay, now I feel bad.
If one of the many trolls that watch my show looking for an opportunity to take my 5-minute flapper sets away from me, they're gonna cop on this.
In the last hour, I have admitted to doing verbal blackface in my early comedy career.
It's not blackface.
It also sounds much worse.
I know.
The way you were
doing an impression is not blackface. But go on.
I'm reading a book riddled with the N-word, and I'm still reading it. And now I'm a Woody Allen apologist. So
you said it.
I can't.
You can just clip that out.
Clip it.
This is what I stand for, right? This is what I brought this. Can
oh, Jesus fuck.
Why does the V look like an asshole? It doesn't even look like a heart.
It looks like somebody scratched.
It's the state of Michigan.
Hold that up so the audience can judge. That looks like an asshole.
Did your did your dad get that for you?
Yeah, my dad got this for me.
His dad lives in Michigan. We're good friends. Yeah, we go to dinner solo, just the two of us.
That's nice. I think our group, everybody has we're friends, but then there's different friends levels beyond that.
I think every friend group is like that.
I think every friend group is like that.
Like you have the group, but then you have pairs.
Have you seen the show Friends?
Was that is this another
Lisa and Ross never hung out one-on-one. Lisa Kudrow, Phoebe and Ross. No, I'm a true fan.
No,
I know all the real names.
Phoebe and Ross did. I'll watch anything on YouTube during the day to not pay attention at work. Yeah. So I will sometimes watch Friends compilations. Yeah. Phoebe and Ross being an iconic duo.
Yeah.
And it's 10 minutes of scenes over the years where those two actors are together. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. So I disagree with you. What? Phoebe and Ross have had many scenes together. Phoebe mugged Ross.
All right, Phoebe and Chandler.
Most George
Phoebe
and
mugged
Elaine.
Ross.
Phoebe mugged Ross. Season 7.
Most George and Elaine scenes. That's just the two of them. The crux of the scene is how awkward it is that it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
You know.
How they're friends through Jerry.
Yeah.
Not a big Seinfeld guy.
It always blows my mind.
I'll go Friends. Oh. I'll go Frasier.
I love Frasier.
I'll hit up New Girl.
New Girl, I just started watching it a couple years ago. It's great.
Yeah, I get a lot of comps to the Nick character.
Hey, so do I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see his movie, Self-Reliance?
Yes, we just watched it.
Yeah, it was great.
It's pretty good.
I got to see it in a theater on the only day it was in a theater.
Oh, wow.
I got to go watch it.
We just saw...
a bit of a film buff.
Can I tell you what we just saw? We did, not Inception, the fucking movie, Explosion.
Oh, shit, Oppenheimer.
It was great.
That's a great movie.
It was so good.
You just saw it?
Just saw it.
Did you see it in a theater?
We saw it in a theater.
That's great.
It's been in the theater for
Well, no, it's back because of the Oscars.
Oh.
And let me tell you what was cool. Let me tell you why we were happy. We were going to go... shitty old axe throwing. It was date night. We were like, before we went axe throwing, we should get some dinner. And on the way to dinner, I was like, we haven't seen a movie in a while. And then Oppenheimer came up. I was like, well, that's gone out of theaters. And she Googled it. She was like, it's at the fucking, whatever the Universal Walk is.
Oh, yeah, Universal City
And
Walk.
we just fucking changed plans. No more axe throwing. Instead, we saw Us Build a Bomb.
That's great. It's a great movie. Have you seen it?
I saw it in the theater.
Sarah and I have the Stubbs Pass, AMC Stubbs.
I think you've told me about this.
Yes,
before.
so we go to the movies all the time. We see every
me
single
more.
movie.
Wait, you said AMC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
$24 a month, which is like $5 more than like a base level ticket, and you can see as many movies. You can see 3 movies a week.
Olip is trying to get me involved in that.
It's fantastic. So we see almost, and like the thing is for me, I'm like, we have to at least see 2 movies because that way we're saving money. Because like 2 tickets is like $35, $40. But in busy month, you know what I mean? So we at least go twice. Sometimes we go 4 or 5 times.
In a month.
They make their money back by you buying $85 popcorn.
Well, but
every
see,
time you go.
we also have a rule with that. We only get popcorn every other time. Sometimes we go. And sometimes we make dinner at home, put it in Tupperware.
Put it in your pants.
Put it in our pants, and then we eat it. We eat our dinner in the movie theater instead of getting popcorn.
That's nice. You ever go tupless dinner in pants? You just fucking just ladle spaghetti into your pockets.
Yeah.
it makes it less fun.
We're just reaching into each other's pockets.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh, nice. I like
spaghetti and Brussels.
what you're describing is the best part about being in a relationship. Is these little fun little things you do that connect you to each other, and that's the good part.
It's the good part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
The bad part is when you grow tired of the other person and don't know how to get out. That's the bad part.
That's the bad part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks to AMC Stubbs, the good times never stop rolling.
As long as you're spending money.
So AMC Stubbs, you plugged. Did you want to plug
Yeah,
this?
you're really walking billboard.
Love water bottle and the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
I wish I knew where I got this sword from.
Oh,
As a gift.
Louisville Slugger.
So I've been having a thing lately where I wake up in the middle of the night convinced someone's downstairs. So I've started to keep weapons in different rooms of the house to kill assailants.
Yeah.
You guys ever think about that?
Yeah,
Like
I thought about just the other day. I thought I need a bat.
I can tell you the exact moment I started having it. I was like going to sleep and I was like, what did the fucking Golden State Killer do again? And I Googled, I Wikipedia'd it like right before going to sleep. And I've thought about it every day since then. It was like 2 years ago. And now I'm like, I go home, I double lock the doors. I like go back and check. Like it's become a thing.
I
But
really
you-
check the
Are you a gun
doors.
guy?
Not just because my wife won't let me.
But you
I'm
would get a
not.
gun if you
I would get a gun in every room.
right.
And I'd keep it loaded.
Right.
And I'd keep it like,
I could tell
on a
you're
low
a-
table where
I'm
a child.
surprised you don't. Yeah, I'm
No, I would.
I'd hide it in the ball pit.
Yeah, yeah.
They never expect the gun to be mixing with the children's toys.
It's just right there.
As you said, as long as you get your newborn into like firearm safety.
They have
early-
safety.
Hey, I told you not to move. I'm just getting my son's binky.
I gotta say, I have a. How do I say this? I have a friend who got his kid a gun, a little girl. It was like a pink gun. And watching his family lose their mind about it was kind of fun. I'm not saying I would ever do that, but
How old is the kid?
like 4.
A real gun, like a 22,
real
like a.
It was like it looked like a little baby shotgun, but I'm sure it was.
Was it
like,
a pellet gun?
It wasn't a pellet gun, but it was like whatever the lowest level.
22, maybe.
But it wasn't a 22 because a 22 you can hold. It was like, dang, it was kind of wild.
Is that a 44? I don't know anything about
They're
guns.
hunting though.
Okay.
They're hunting.
Yeah.
Well,
But I did. I like I said, I don't think I would do it, but for myself. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I could have a gun. I have a knife in my nightstand. I also lock the bedroom door, which the other
I
night.
locked the bedroom door too.
The other night, Sarah was like, because she got up. She realized, did you lock the bedroom door? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? I'm like, if someone breaks in,
They have to break through that.
now they
door.
have to get through another door, and I'll hear that door. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
I
jimmy
thought
that
about
up.
getting a second lock on top of the bedroom door, like the one where it's like you break in, but the little thing holds it.
That's
So
a
even
good
if they
idea.
can get through, I mean,
Little
because
chain.
yeah, because if I have this, once I get this puppy sharpened,
One moment.
once I get this,
can't see you.
once I get this guy sharpened,
No, that would be great. I would invite burglars in. I would just be standing at the top of your staircase. Just come and get me.
if you have enough weapons, it does become kind of fun if somebody breaks in. I've got a bat, I've got a sword, I've got a pit bull.
I have a couple
know, doing
proximity
all right,
mines downstairs.
Yeah, it's basically anything from GoldenEye currently exists in this house. Don't touch that wall. Yeah, it's it's been a real thing where I'm like, I can't stop thinking about what would happen if somebody broke in. Also, our back door is just a fucking glass door.
So they can just smash it.
Yeah, you just smash it.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, we have a living room door that goes outside. It's just a sliding. It's like that, but it's on the ground floor.
So easy. Like,
Yeah,
like if
shit.
you ever think like, I'm not a murderer, but if I was, it would be so fucking easy to murder people. Like if you were a true psychopath,
Yeah.
people leave their fucking doors open, they're hanging out.
You
Like
wanna know
sometimes you're
the-
just driving on the road, you're like, if I just go like this,
Yeah.
I could kill
kill a
50
bunch of
people.
people.
But I have so much anxiety. Like if it would be, I would go, like they always say that the killer goes back to the crime scene. I'm going back to the crime scene because I'm like, did I wipe my fingerprints? Did I, as if like to think, oh, did I leave the stove on?
Yeah, that is the hard
Did I
thing.
throw away that rag? Did I know I threw away the bloody
I know,
rag.
but then just
I know
like a hair could
Let me
fall
just
out
go
of
back
your
and
head.
check. Did I throw away the bloody rag?
Is that true? The killer goes back to the crime scene a bunch?
We've heard.
Have you not ever
that.
seen? Yeah, they always say that in like a crime.
Well, I know they say it, but that doesn't make it fucking true.
I think.
They-
I
they
think the
do it.
truly
Hey,
deranged ones because it's
they
like their
do it.
trophy.
Yeah, they do it.
Hey, Kevin Spacey in Seven runs into him in the hallway. That's all the proof I need.
Shit, what was I just gonna say? Oh, this is a scary thing. I forget what serial killer it was, but may have been the California. I don't know, but whatever. Killed a bunch of people, and then apparently one night he went to this house. He would just walk into random houses.
Yeah.
And somehow it came up with the cops. They're like, he said, "Oh well, I went to this house, but then I ended up going to this other family." And they were like, "Why didn't you kill the so-and-sos at that first house?" And he just goes, "Oh, their door was locked." That was the only thing
Yeah.
that kept that family alive.
Well,
and then the other family left their door unlocked because it was like the 70s and nobody locked doors yet.
I remember, like, it's infuriating. Like, my family lives in the South, and they are in the rural area, and they don't lock their doors. And they're like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, until it does. Until it does.
That's the thing.
I stayed in somebody's
Crazy.
house that I had in Marfa, Texas. I didn't know. I had never met them. They were a friend of a friend. I had a friend at the time living in Marfa. She was a cook.
I used to live in Marfa.
I think we've talked about this.
Yeah, that's right.
They lived on the actual edge of town. The next stop, 3 feet later, was just desert. And so my friend Bridget was living in Marfa, and she goes, I got a place for you to stay. Some friends of mine are out of town, and they said you could stay at their house. I go, that's weird. Okay, thank you. And I go, I'll just drive by and get you the key from you. And she goes, no need. It's open. I go, I don't know these. I've never met these people. They're a friend of my friend. And they said I could stay in their house
That'd be spooky.
with no key.
That's crazy.
That's spooky.
But literally, the desert was right.
oh yeah, that
it was
place
just-
is in the
it's
middle of
just desert
nowhere.
was the
That
next
would be a
stop.
great place to murder somebody.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you would just drive in any direction. You
Yeah.
could just toss him in a ditch.
Easy.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your
Easy
uncle.
peasy. Lock your doors, people.
But
Yeah,
there,
I remember. Oh, so you go.
there was a documentary about car thieves, like people stealing stuff out of cars, teenagers here in L.A. And that's what they. And I think a lot of people do this. They just walk down cars and just
and
jiggling
pulling
handles.
Yeah.
If there's an open one, they open it, take stuff out.
I remember
If it's
seeing.
locked, they just
I
keep
never
open.
stop clicking my lock
yeah.
button when I'm walking away from my car.
I remember seeing a PSA where it was like, if you don't want to have your car stolen, the number one thing to do, never leave your car with the keys in the car running. And I was like, that's a joke, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, like, if somebody ever goes like, oh, I'll just take 5 seconds, and they leave their car keys, somebody else will come in and just take the car and drive away. Like,
Right there. I'm
That's-
sure it
it's-
happens a lot at gas stations, or maybe it used to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Small towns.
This is my
I'll
favorite
just go grab a
thing.
newspaper.
My favorite thing in movies, it's not a thing so much recently, but in like older movies, is the people are on the run and they find a car that's open and then they just flip open
Yes.
the visor
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
and the
yeah.
key. And they're like, I'm like, who keeps
Yeah.
keys in a car like that?
Farmers. It's always farmers.
You know what you should do is like in a comedy you would do that and then flip it down and just horse shit falls on it.
Like, oh fuck.
And you're like, oh.
But then they
and
just
then
put.
and then the keys are in the ignition. You're like, oh.
I was thinking you would just jam the horse shit into the keyhole and then it starts right up. Farmer John.
Fuck, that is funnier. It is funnier if the only way the car starts is just fingering poop into the keyhole.
And as it's going in, it's going.
It makes horse noises, of course.
Oh, I was trying to sound like an engine.
Oh,
Like you're.
I thought it was.
I thought
That
you were
thing?
doing somebody with like a shit fetish.
The bit has gone off the rails.
At least you didn't take 8 minutes setting it up like our friend Ross over here with the T-shirt.
If I could close it, with this merch.
Do not bring the merch up again. It can't. What was the town? Marfa?
Marfa.
Spell Marfa.
Marfa.
It's a famous place.
That's the dumbest name for a town I've heard.
You never heard of it before?
Marfa? I don't know. Where is this? Marfa.
Texas.
It's in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah, West
Texas. It's this big. It's teensy weensy tiny.
I think it's a population of 1,800.
But it's a
It's a big art community.
It's artsy. It's very arts. It's like it's like an art.
It sounds like a museum. It sounds like a museum I would never want to go to.
or something.
Yeah,
Have you been to the Marfa recently?
It was nice. I'm still friends with some people from there, but there was not enough going on for me. I had to go back to the bright lights of New York City.
Yeah.
You took a break from New York.
Yeah, I followed
to Marfa.
a woman. She wanted to get out of New York.
Now, were you with the woman or did you just literally follow her?
I followed her. I grabbed a thing of horse shit, shoved it in the ignition. I was like, "You're not
Slept with
getting
her
away
once.
from me." Slept with her
3
once.
months ago.
I was like, "But our kids."
But I thought we were engaged.
You're not going to brunch with anybody, are you?
It's you take all your boys here to Marfa.
Marfa. You bring them up.
That's interesting. I would not want to ever go there. That doesn't sound appealing to me in any way.
It's cool. I went there a couple years ago. When I was driving out to
yeah.
LA from New York, I swung by there.
I've been out there twice. The first time I was there, I just kept getting pulled over by the cops because they don't have anything to do. They just see a car they don't recognize and they pull them over. First time, a buddy of mine I was in his car, but for some reason I was driving. They pull us over because the taillight was out, and then it was a man and woman state trooper. Didn't give us a ticket. They just wanted to tell us it was out. The next day, I'm driving out of town to go to Big Ben. My buddy's he was too sick to go. He's like throwing up and stuff. So I get pulled over by a cop again. It's the same two troopers, and they act like they don't know me. They haven't seen me before. And I'm like, I go, it's me. They go, what? I go, you pulled me over yesterday. And they go, oh yeah. How was whatever we went to the hot springs? I go, yeah, it was fine. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm going to Big Ben. And they go, where's your friend? Oh, he's too sick. He couldn't come. And they go, oh, he's going to miss Big Ben. And I go, is there a reason you pulled me over? And they go, oh, you're not supposed to be in the left lane. That's a passing lane only, which I forgot about in Texas, my home state. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a rule. And I go, can I go? And they go, yeah, enjoy Big Ben. I go, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
It was
just pull people over.
It was very fun. It is a very small town. I mean, literally. But I got pulled over one time because I had a headlight out. So then they let me off with a warning, and then whatever. Too many details. So I went to a car shop, and they fixed it, and then 2 days later, it just stopped working again. And then that night I was driving home from work and I got pulled over. And then the cop walks up and he goes, I thought I told you to get that headlight fixed, Mr. Fisher. Like it was just like,
He did, yeah.
Yeah, knew exactly who I was, remembered the car. But they have nothing
Did
going on.
you tell him I did?
Yeah, I was like, I swear. Well, then I also didn't have I had a driver's license, but not a physical one. So he was like, you need to fix the tail light and get the driver's license. And so then I went and got the headlight fixed. Then I drove out to the DMV, which was in the next town over, which was 25 miles away. And it was some stupid holiday or whatever, so it was closed. So then that night, he was like, thought I told you to get that headlight fixed. I was like, I swear to God, I fixed it 2 days ago to stop working. He goes, all right, did you get your license? And I was like, I went to the DMV, and it was, I promise you I did all this stuff. Then I got it. Good end of a story.
You know what?
You can cut the end of that story.
Let me tell you.
Then I got it,
I'm
bitch.
going to keep the beginning. I'm going to keep the beginning with no ending.
Yeah.
Crime rate in Marfa. Probably very low, except for public nudity. And
I'm sure there's no public nudity.
There's probably a lot of public nudity there.
There's a lot of drunk driving, but they don't
enforce it.
The justice of the peace of the town told me, he was like, just a little tip. They don't really hand out DUIs here because it's so much paperwork. And it's such a small town. It's literally, you could throw a rock across the town.
Yeah, my friend would drive around with an open beer between her legs.
Yeah, isn't that kind of... There's still places like that in Texas where they're like, yeah, we just kind of choose to do our own thing here. I remember there was a story of like... It's a dark way, and probably we'll end on this.
Great.
A child was raped and murdered, and the father...
I do not...
I'm only smiling because I wasn't expecting... I'm like, the comedy podcast.
Well, the father...
Well, I on a high note.
It is a high note. The father, at the trial of the rapist and killer, just took a gun and shot him in front of everybody. And then the father went on trial for committing murder in broad daylight, and the jury found him innocent. Not like justified. They found him, he did not do that. There was video footage, there was like 100 witnesses, and they just went, nope.
Right.
Now, I'm like, that's fucking great. I support it, but I'm also like, that's kind of fucking crazy.
Weird. It's weird because I think, is there a term or a thing? It's not exactly self-defense because it's
revenge.
It's revenge.
But is there a legal thing that you could say?
The legal thing
that would be the same as you're not going to be in trouble.
Well, that's very different to say. You could say that he was temporarily insane, but you still go to like, you have mandated, like you have to, like they could check you into a mental institution for that.
My question is there a way that you get the same result, which is you're fine and you're free to go, but still recognize that you did kill somebody?
Oh, well, yeah, that probably is what happened. Like he might have gotten off on a technicality, but it's better for my story that Texas is crazy and they just said he's innocent.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Wouldn't that be nice, though, if we lived in a world like that, where like if enough of a town was like, no, you're not a bad guy, and a horrible thing happened. But I mean, that's why you need laws, because then
I think we do live in a society like that.
Where do you guys fall? Like, must the law? I think sometimes the moral thing to do is break the law, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't have laws. It just means sometimes that is...
And I do, but then it gets hard splitting hairs because like that's a great thing, especially if it was like 200 years ago and nobody would really know about it. Great thing, kill that fucking piece of shit, and then everybody just turns an eye.
Yeah.
But then if it were to happen,
someone
like
steals,
but like somebody does a bad murder in broad daylight, and for something much less worse, like they were sleeping with my husband or wife.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but you let that other guy do it. Then it's like, wow,
that's different. We like him.
We liked him. He was the mayor once.
This is Marfa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to be careful with who you let murder.
I don't know anything about the law.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a way, though, that you can get charged with a murder charged with a crime and then not somebody decide that you don't deserve a punishment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. I don't know why you're treating this like it's a legal TV podcast.
Because you asked me what I think. You asked me.
I meant what you think ethically about that happening, about people choosing to let him off. I didn't mean like let's get into the legalese
I think there's a term.
Law of Texas. Like,
There's no term.
None of us know what that. I wasn't trying to engage you like that.
Maybe for the paperwork.
Dropped out of law school 3rd year.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I think it's only 3 years anyway. Why would I drop
They
out
also
3rd
don't
year?
prosecute murders in Marfa because the paperwork is fucking insane.
It's a lot of paperwork.
When you kill someone.
It's 3 pages.
Yeah.
They may have had to charge. Well, I guess you don't have to charge it with anything. I was going to say maybe they downgraded it to manslaughter.
Yeah, but I think still
Yeah.
you gotta
You still get some.
prison.
You still get some iron windows
Manslaughter's not
for manslaughter.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing that happened I think it was today?
The
Where
Philly shooting?
No, I thought it was a Philly shooting. I think it was a Massachusetts shooting where they're going to put the parents in prison for a school shooter.
Oh, I think I did see
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I'm for it, but it is like one of those like
But why?
water.
Did they buy them?
Bought him the gun, like ignored the school was like, we found him looking up ammo in school, and that
4-year-old little girl it was a pink.
all right,
Pink gun.
We're having our fun. No, it was like there were a bunch of warning signs.
Sorry, I just enjoyed
I don't
that
know why
moment.
that offended. I was like,
Right. Why would you call back something that?
It's also it's a pre-tape podcast. You could cut anything out.
It's actually a pretty good It was a pretty good callback. I have no reason for getting bent out of shape
That's
over it.
correct.
I also made fun of that shirt bit like 5 times. You're entitled.
I know
to,
you had to tell me to stop.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
No, but
So those pieces, you want to put the piece of shit parents because they bought the gun.
Because I think it was because they bought the gun and the gun was theirs and it was in the mother's possession last, and then the son took it.
Yeah.
So they're like, you need to if you buy a gun,
Yeah.
you need to properly store it.
Yeah.
And if somebody takes it and goes and commits a murder, especially if there's like all these fucking signs that they're going to do it and you're ignoring them, you're liable.
No,
And
I agree with that.
not financially liable. Like they're
Yeah.
going to fucking prison.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking at first I thought maybe just because they raised a killer that they would go to jail.
No, I don't think it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because sometimes like you get like you've seen that. Remember that preview for the movie where the kid's on the swing, and then he just goes, "Dum," and he like looks.
The
at you.
Omen?
The Omen. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
What if you have a little Omen baby?
Yeah, yeah.
If you get an Omen
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
I don't
you
think
know.
you should have to go to prison just because Satan came out of your pussy.
Right.
But like if you
That movie's creepy. The part when the house made.
Can you tell me all about it? I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, there's a part where like this is the creepiest part for me. Suicide is always creepy, but particularly this one. He's like, I don't know, I think he's a rich kid or whatever, and so at one point he's standing in the yard, there's a bunch of other like servants or whatnot, and one of the maids is up on the roof and she just goes, "Damien, this is for you," and then she just jumps to her death.
yeah,
It's so fucking freaky.
it's freaky.
Richard Donner, baby.
Who's naming
Bit
their?
of a film buff.
Who's going to?
Bit of a film buff.
Do not talk into each other's microphones.
What happens?
you have
Something
another mic?
terrible.
It's just contaminated.
You guys want to switch your? Don't name your kid Damien if you don't want them to become Beelzebub.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, that's interesting. The parents being, I would think if it's consistent, because it's one thing if they had it and they were like clearly trying to get him some help.
Yeah, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
They were
And like
like-
locking up the gun.
Yeah, they were.
That is the thing. It's the toothpaste is out of the tube. We don't need to fucking talk about it. The guns scare the shit out of me, and they only bring more bad than good.
what do you feel about bats and
They're great
Swords.
because everybody has a
Comic-Con swords?
Not to give the example, but I can't walk into a post office and kill 50 people with a bat.
Is it true? I heard this.
But the first couple people you catch,
Is it true that you can get a ticket or it's illegal to have a bat without a ball and glove? That was something I heard as a kid.
I'm sure that's like an old wives'
That
tale.
must be a
or-
wives' tale.
Yeah.
Like if you had if an officer opened your trunk and there was just a baseball bat and no other baseball equipment.
Because what if you just
you
went to
could,
the
like, be
batting
in trouble.
cages?
yeah.
Right.
I got to take the bat and the sword off the table before I start the podcast because the last 3 episodes have ended with us talking about bats and swords, and it's just like it's
I mean,
not
that's right
relatable
there.
enough.
Yeah.
Why? The big bat sword audience.
I think what I'll do is I'll I'll probably just rotate items that are on the table.
You know what you should do? You should get that gun and put that on the table.
Yeah, fucking spin
That's
it.
yeah.
What if we do a Russian roulette
That'd be
on
fun.
the pod? You guys want to come back next week?
Yeah.
I don't want to just do the three of us. We should get more people.
Yeah.
Or less
It's a
people.
big
It
chamber.
could just be me.
Why don't we get the old comedy group together?
The
One
old
without
comedy
me?
group.
Oh, because I'm the new guy.
No.
Dude, even after 2 years, I'm still the little baby boy.
Do you guys know that I'm taking the year off stand-up?
Yeah, you told
Really?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Taking the year off.
Just trying to reset?
Just chilling, resetting, trying to do well at the job,
Yeah.
going to the gym,
That's
just trying to
great.
get healthy, all that stuff. And that said, I've booked a bunch of out-of-date town gigs, of course.
Well, yeah.
Now that I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I think I'm going to take a break. I've had 2 places call me to book me in May. I'm like, fuck.
Where are you going?
Going to North Carolina and New York.
Hey, that's awesome.
It is cool.
That's very
But
cool.
I'm also like literally going in my head like, I'm going to be traveling in May. Like I was looking forward to like.
Isn't that what happens though? Like when you let go of something,
That is
then it comes back.
That is exactly like I'm not pretending like I'm booking some huge clubs. They're not. But like that is kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because the one lady reached out to me like a day after I had a tear-filled conversation with my wife about like, I've earned the break. I've earned the break. You know, that kind of thing. And then I go in the shower and talk to my dad while I'm naked. And then I come out.
Actual dad. He's
I come out and look at my
Dad
email.
lives downstairs.
in the
I come out and
shower.
look at my email and there's a club date.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll go do it. In North Carolina?
in North Carolina. It'll be fun.
That'll be great.
Yeah. You guys want to come open? I can pay you $20 and no hotel or plane is included. And there might be 5 people there. Worth it?
I will definitely come.
There'll be 3 different. Now I feel bad. I can't bring people.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I can't open for you?
I mean, I would love for you guys to open for me, but the idea of me being able to help anybody in their careers is so hilarious. Like this is my idea of helping you guys right now.
This? This was such a
This is how I.
this was like such a burden to my day. This is you helping me. This is I feel like I'm just sending a huge favor to you.
Is that how you?
this is
Be
a
honest.
big
You guys feel
favor
like
to
it's a
you.
favor to me to come
Well,
on
the
the pod.
shirt, I put it together.
Well, let's not go back into that.
I came over at rush hour. Who has a podcast at 5 p.m. in L.A.?
I do. I get off work.
No, I don't consider it a huge favor that I've done for you.
I don't think it's. I think it's just.
It's just a hang.
It's
It's
just a
just a hang.
fun.
It's a fun hang.
It's
That's
just a hang. It's
recorded.
good to practice for when somebody has a real thing that they want me
Yeah,
to
that's
be on.
That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, I really needed to get some podcast reps in.
Yeah.
You do though. You do.
Can you guys get podcasts of your own
I know,
so that me and Rob have
I know,
a
you and
podcast to
Rob-
go on beyond our own too?
I just
I
talked
know
to
you guys
Rob.
keep saying that. I don't. But what's the point? Then we're all just going to be doing our
That's what they want.
podcast
That's
and
what him
only
and Rob-
listening to each
That's
other.
what him and Rob want.
That's what we want.
They want all of us to have a podcast, and then we just.
It's what they're doing in Austin.
Oh boy! Well,
It's
if
what they're-
Austin's
if
doing
Austin-
It's
it,
what they're doing in.
But what are they doing
If
in
Austin
Marfa?
jumped off a bridge, would you go after? No. Look, if we have look, here's the thing. We have to find a way to have fucking horseshit content, blah blah blah, all that crap. And a podcast is automatic. That
Yeah.
we have comic friends that can come on that we can be funny with. You guys can do your own thing.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like, if one person's podcast takes off, it does raise everybody else. Like that's what you do is you have like your friends on your podcast. One person goes, they kind of take you on the ride, and you're like one of the regulars.
But you just quit stand up.
I'm not quitting. I'm taking a break for a year, but I'll come back.
so all 2024, so
I think I'm gonna
January
go-
2025.
I think that's the goal, unless somebody's going to pay me to go do,
Yeah.
which is going to happen a couple times
That's
already.
very nice.
Yeah, I'll probably actually have another club in my book.
That's great.
I'm-
how are you
I'm
getting
actually
all these?
booking-
How are
it's
you getting all
crazy.
these club bookings?
Because it's like people that I asked like 6 months ago, and they're like, we'll get back to you. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck that. And then they all reached out in the new year.
That's great. Do you know these people, or they're just clubs you sent tapes to?
2 of them I know. One of them was a club that I just sent it. But you should, I'm not giving you that advice. It's such a waste of time for the most part to just fucking cold. I think I just got lucky.
Yeah, but like nowadays, I just spend an hour emailing, and
Yeah.
then that's it. And then I go back to watching Friends compilations.
I'm gonna keep.
You're watching Baywatch. I see what you're doing.
I'm watching Baywatch.
Yeah, you are watching a lot of Baywatch.
Yeah.
They're
Are
pretty
you
funny.
cranking? I mean, the answer is an obvious.
Yeah, of
yes.
course I'm cranking.
That's the reason. Do you got a fave on Baywatch?
No, I just started it. I've never really watched the show.
If you were into if you were gay,
No, if I were into guys, Hasselhoff would not do it for me.
that
I gotta
you
say,
can't
none of the
that.
men on
How
that
could you
show.
possibly
The
say
son is a good looking.
It's a little-
No, he's grown up at the end. God damn it.
well, I just started.
You're watching chronologically?
Yes.
So you don't miss any of the important storylines?
I want to know how they all got to the
If you
beach.
were
I
in
keep trying to put my fucking arm over this chair. It's like the third time I've done that. So tell me.
that. I want to call you out. If you aren't into men, you're not gay. So how do you know if you were?
Well, because there is here's the thing. Like, I would have sex with Brad Pitt if Brad Pitt knocked on my door.
Well, that's everybody.
But see,
that's gonna happen.
So like, I don't look at Brad Pitt and I'm like, oh my god, but I'm like, oh yeah,
that
that's a
makes
guy
sense.
who
Yeah.
I would 100% be into. I don't. Hasselhoff just seems like a dweeb,
Yeah.
and I don't get how he was ever a sex icon.
I always kind of felt like it was ironic.
See, and then I feel bad for him. I mean, that show is so bad.
yeah.
It's just like, I'm like, how is this one of the most popular shows ever? It is like an after school special that like was written by his son in the early years.
Yeah. It's like very sappy and corny.
Yeah, it's a soap
and then
opera.
with huge tits.
With big boobs. And,
Yeah,
and,
so
and
that's
tight
what I
bikinis.
was the thing.
Yeah.
Like halfway
Yeah.
through the first episode, I was like, "Oh, this is a primetime soap opera."
Right.
But it's terrible.
Nicole Eggert is my favorite.
She's in the news right now.
What, really?
There's a Baywatch documentary coming out about her,
Uh-oh.
about her time as
God. Well,
a young.
It's not going to be good.
She was 18 when she got cast on that show.
All right. Look, what am I supposed to say to this shit? What am I supposed to say? I was a kid. She was hot. I didn't do anything wrong. She was on TV.
See, this
What
is
were you
like
doing?
Ross asking me about my comedy career. Nobody said anything.
No,
Yeah,
you got all quiet and you looked at me. She was 18.
That wasn't a thing.
But what
I
were
was
you
talking
sheepish
about it
about?
from.
Now I'm putting my arm up. I'm like, where did I put the fucking arm? No, listen. Why am I yelling?
What were you feeling guilty about? You felt a guilt
No,
about her.
because as soon as they go, ooh, someone's documentary about the time they were on a show in the 90s.
Oh, I see.
What do you think the documentary is going to be?
Right. It's
I
not-
went on, they
Yeah.
treated me well, no one assaulted me, and then it ended.
Right.
That's what
yeah.
it said it's about.
That's not what
It said it's a 2-hour documentary with
About-
nothing but happy stories.
Yeah.
No,
They
it's
gave
gonna
her
be
a
a-
robe as soon as she got cold every time.
No, fucking Hasselhoff was like kicking down her door at 2 a.m. I don't want to fucking
I'm the
know.
biggest man in Germany. You're going to get the fuck on set right now.
He's huge in Germany.
Huge on Germany.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a very good show, but it's like laughably bad though.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a good
Well, I always
time.
like that there's the episodes where it's like it's lifeguards disarming a nuclear bomb off the coast of
Yeah.
Santa Monica or whatever. You're like,
Well, and it's great
this
too.
is-
There's this cop character in the first couple episodes who, like, I guess he messed up. They haven't really explored his story yet, but he like messed up being a cop, so they like demoted him to being a lifeguard.
he's a lifeguard. Is it the black guy?
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
always like, "Well, on the police, we do it this way," and they're like, "Shut the fuck up! You don't know anything." On lifeguards, we do it this way.
They only had one thing to do with black cops in 80s, 90s entertainment, which is to have them have one moment where they go, I shot a kid.
I'm sure that's what it'll be.
Straight.
You can't be shooting kids to the beach with you.
Guys, we got to go. We actually went over time, but I think that's okay. Yeah. I think the people, I've got a lot of stuff to cut out.
Yeah, there's a lot to
A
cut.
lot of stuff to cut out.
We were almost talking for 2 hours.
I got an hour 35 over there.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Well, I mean, by the time we got rolling, well, and plus the first 2 minutes and 35 seconds, no good.
Good. Yeah, it's actually a good steel trap up there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's gonna.
Nothing gets out of this thing.
we were
that's-
talking about bad things.
Bad things?
Yeah.
Oh no, well, because then you had to go turn the alarm off. For
Yeah, that's
Gordon.
true. Yeah. This is we are.
This is my Rain Man moment.
Screeching to a halt.
This is my Rain Man moment. There's what do you got? 50 Advil in that bottle?
Oh my God, guys, take the sword, and with the sword in your hand, tell the people where they can find you online.
Oh, okay.
It's the first time you've heard of a plug.
Well, I forgot to check the website. I just updated it, rosscopeland.com. I will be at Fourth Wall Cafe on the 23rd of February.
Don't plug any of that, because I might not release this for like a month.
End of February?
Huh?
End of February? Well, I want to know.
It's not for you. It's for the people.
April.
so
what
I'm
about?
not- I'm not
I
invited?
got to show it at March.
Yeah. Why did you have to think so hard about your website? You went, I got a website. It's
I wasn't thinking about the website.
I just updated it, too.
what is it? myname.com.
Shit, what's my name?
Is
it Sword?
Where is the real Ross Copeland? Where did you steal? Where did you hide away his body? Why did you have to think that hard for your own name?
It wasn't the website name I couldn't think of. I was trying to think of the dates that I put on the fucking website.
Tell people, just
Asshole.
direct them to the website.
Maybe we should be nice if we're holding the sword. Maybe it's the nice sword.
Maybe don't make fun of the guy.
I love the shirt.
Maybe don't make fun of the guy with a sword in his hand. RossCopeland.com. I'm on all my socials at Ross Copeland 11 at Ross Copeland.
What's the 11? Were you born on February 11th? Shit. Oh, no, your birthday's in 2 weeks.
Getting an Amber Alert.
Are you really getting an Amber Alert?
Emergency. Yeah, so it's flash flood warning.
It's not an Amber Alert.
Well,
Yeah.
I knew it was something.
Unless the flash flood is
'Cause I turned my
also
phone
going to be
on.
molesting
Do not
kids.
disturb. The 11 is because I couldn't get at Ross Copeland on TikTok or Instagram or anything, and so I had to get a number. And I love Spinal Tap, and
These go to 11.
It goes to 11.
Nice.
There you go.
When's your birthday?
February 24th.
Last screen name I ever made on AOL was Dillfish314, and I got the 314 because I was like, I need a number, and it was March 14th. 314.
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
Grab that fucking sword
All right.
and tell people.
Okay. All my dates are on rosscopeland.com. This one, I'm going to be on Mike Perkins' talk show on the 22nd of February.
No one will know.
Well, they'll know that it happened.
Yeah, they'll
once
know
they
that it
get to this
happened.
part.
Yeah.
I have the sword. I can plug whatever I want.
Plug whatever you want.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at DeliciousFisher. It's like the word delicious, but DYL. And no C in Fisher. That's about it. I'll be doing stand-up this year. There'll be some stuff
Have you ever thought about taking a year off of stand-up?
every day.
A lot of people are doing that.
A lot of people. I was listening to a podcast the other day.
Yeah.
I got a good buddy who's taking a year off stand-up.
I was feeling bummed. I actually feeling mostly good about it, but I talked to a buddy who reached out to me because he saw I got booked at that club, and I was like, I kind of mentioned to him that I was taking a year off. He goes, "Oh yeah, I took 3 years off a while back to kind of get situated." I was like, "Oh, that makes me feel better."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like it too much. I'm gonna like the freedom, and I'm not gonna miss it enough. But I've been fucking doing it since I was 22,
Yeah.
38. Like I've earned the year.
Yes, you
And
definitely have.
And it's also like I'm still doing this shit.
What's the
and I
thing?
have a full-time job.
If you were just stopping completely,
Yeah.
you're still doing creative stuff and comedy stuff. It's fine. You got to pump the brakes. Not the same thing, but like I had one booking in December for shows, so I was like November, December. I was like, I'm not doing mics. I'll do them like if there's a show that week, but I don't need to go do 2 mics a night to prepare for nothing.
I think I might be done with mics forever. But we can still hang out afterwards.
I just
Come meet
realized.
us after. Wait, you're still gonna come watch?
I'm not going to watch. I'll wait outside the fucking building. Guys, this was fun. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And, we'll have you back since that's the whole point of the podcast, right? You guys are my regs.
Yeah.
We're the rags.
And when you guys start your joints,
Yeah, Ross and I are starting a podcast.
When you guys start
we
your
forgot to plug the
podcast.
podcast.
The podcast.
It's the rosscopeland.com podcast.
it's good. It's good.
We just kind of sit and update Ross's website.
Which takes
great.
me a long time. That's that's a good hour and a half podcast.
Use Squarespace?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
It's a heavy on HTML code comedy.
Yeah, I'm
missing.
building a website. I'm just on YouTube videos. I don't have any coding experience.
Yeah.
But one YouTube video. You can learn anything on YouTube.
Really? You can learn a lot about Ross and Phoebe on YouTube.
That's true. You can build a bomb off of YouTube. But you kind of got to go quick. If you like hang out and like really savor every bit of the bomb building,
build that bomb.
Yeah, you got to like watch one video, take very good notes, and then like YouTube like La Bamba after that, so people that NSA thinks that you just
yeah. Sorry, it took me the whole bomb video to realize
Oppenheimer.
When's he gonna start singing?
Yeah,
this is not La Bamba.
The bomb movie. I couldn't find the movie times.
Yeah, I thought La Bamba was spelled HOW space TO space BUILD space ABOMB.
That was a lot. You really went for it.
Thanks.
It's like 20 letters.
Yeah. Well, I like Scrabble.
Well, there's more of this coming on the RossCopeland.com podcast. Thanks for doing it, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.